Hello. Today we're going to continue talking about wildfires, and we're going to add a little bit more detail to what we've been discussing. So previously we discussed what it is that causes the combustion. And you need, for a fire, you need oxygen, heat, and fuel. This was the fire triangle that we discussed. So you need all three of those things: oxygen, heat, and fuel. Today we're going to look at another triangle that contributes to wildfires. And the triangle that we're going to look at has three parts: weather, topography, and fuel. So I just want to talk about each of those very briefly. The first one I'll talk about is topography. Topography has to do with the slope of the forest. So is the forest that we're looking at on a steep hill, like in this image? It's pretty steep, right? The hill, if you go up the hill, is fairly steep. The opposite of that would be a forest that's pretty flat, okay? So that's topography. It has to do with the shape of the landscape, the slope of the hill, or the slope of the forest. And we're going to see why that's important later on. The next part of the triangle, other than topography, is going to be fuels. And we've talked about fuels before. There's really no difference here. The fuels that we're talking about are how much fuel is there. Like in this forest, I have very spaced out fuel. The trees are spaced out. And there's even patches of just bare gravel and dirt. So the fuels here are spaced out, but the fuels could be dry or moist. They could be coarse or fine. We covered all of that stuff. The opposite of having the spaced out fuels would be when the fuels are densely packed together. Like this forest, you can see the large trees are all fairly close, but even growing in between the large trees, you have these smaller trees. So it's very dense vegetation, very dense fuel, all the fuels close together. And then the final part of the triangle that we're looking at is weather. Now, when we're talking about wildfires, we want to know first how much weather, how much moisture there is in the atmosphere, how quickly the winds are moving. A couple of examples. So this forest here has got thick fog through it. That fog is just moisture. So this is a very humid environment. Even though it might be cold, it's humid because there's a lot of moisture in the air. That reduces the chance of a wildfire. Where in a dry forest, which we see all the time in California, when it's very dry, when the air conditions are dry and it's the middle of summer and there's no moisture in the air, very easy for wildfires to start. And then the other thing about the weather, one of the other big things is wind. So I'm going to show you a quick little video clip here, and you're going to see how the wind affects this wildfire. You'll be able to see that the fire quickly moves into the camera's view, and you can see the wind throwing out these hot ash embers, starting other fires downwind. So wind has a huge effect on wildfires. Okay, we're going to do a couple of other things, look at a few more videos, but this gets us started in understanding this new triangle. All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.